Start off talking about having to play one-handed for the first half of the season. How difficult is that for a lineman? How frustrating can that be?
Mentally, it took a big toll on me. It was just frustrating to not be able to grab a hold of anybody. The first couple of games, and just trying to get past that mentally was a big struggle that I had.
So you did that in practice. How'd you do it?
Practice, I was going against Dante, and went to go block, and our hands hit together, and it just pushed it back, causing a spiral fracture in the fourth met.
Were you playing in pain during the games? I mean, you hit a big cast on it. So like he's in pain. You're playing with a broken hand. Right?
Yeah, it definitely didn't feel good through the first like 3 games, but after that, it was starting to heal a lot more. So after that, got a lot better.
You mentioned not being able to grab. Is it then a lot of effort with your feet, like making sure your feet are moving right? Like how do you kind of combat that, you know?
Yeah, so during that time, I worked a lot more on my feet and my body positioning. So it also helped me improve in that area. So my feet got a lot better, my sets got a lot better, and my left hand also got a lot better with striking. So, it was also a blessing in disguise.
Is it a little bit of pride if, like, you make a great block with only one hand, you're like, man, I did that with, with only
Yeah, it felt good to do that, yeah.
So evaluate your play this year and then play the offensive line as a whole. I mean, you guys have had good games, but obviously this past week was a struggle. So just give me your thoughts on the whole year.
The first half of the season, I was not playing up to my standard. I wanted to perform better these last few games. I feel like I have. Overall, as an O-line, I still think we're going through growing pains, and you'll have that in a young O-line, just like we are. But we keep getting better and better each week, and as long as we keep working, we're going to develop into a really good O-line.
How is Wyatt developing? I mean, you know what it's like to be that young and having to play that, that
Right.
position.
Yeah, Wyatt is developing really well. At a great pace. He's getting better each week. His feet work and his hands and everything else. And just having me next to him, I think, is also helping him out. Just being there for him to talk to and everything.
Toughest part for a young offensive lineman, is it the strength level, the communication, understanding what you're supposed to do? What's the toughest part of playing that position as a young lineman?
It's definitely strength, I feel like, because you haven't had all the years in the weight room like all these other guys have. You're going against 22, 23-year-old guys that have been playing this for a long time, and also just the experience. All the different looks that you get here. It's not used to high school football.
And no offense against Cabell Midland, but they didn't present stuff like that to you when you're at Spring Valley, like
Not at
Oklahoma
all.
State did.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Has the transfer been what you thought it would be? I mean, just the reception you've got. You've talked about this a little bit in the past, but just making the move, how has it gone for you personally?
Yeah, I think it was the best choice for me still. I really like it here a lot, and I think I've developed my game a lot more here, and I think it was a great move on my decision.
What do you do to put a game away like last week's and the offensive line in general, just, when things kind of fall apart a little bit?
Can you repeat that?
So what do y'all do to put away a game like last week's? Put it behind you and
All we can do is work. We watch the film from last week and see what we did wrong, and try to fix it throughout practice this week, and then try to prove it to everybody again Saturday. That's all we can do is work.
are there technical fixes for those things? Technique, things like that fix some of those was.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, we're still young on line. Most of all the mistakes we had were technique-wise. It wasn't a lack of effort or anything like that. It was just, we still have to grow technically.
You've looked at the film. What made Oklahoma State different? I mean, the week before you guys had a real good game. good defense yet this week. These guys, you got to give them some credit somewhere.
Yeah, I mean that D line played really hard, and you know they knew how to beat us. So that's all there is to it.
Tell anybody.
So among your roommates, whose idea was it to be the biker gang for Halloween? How was that received when you guys showed up?
So that was more of a last minute thing. Daggy and his girlfriend were actually already being bikers, and he suggested that we just do a whole biker gang. So we all just decided to dress up as it, like a week before.
People enjoy that look when everybody saw you guys strolling down. What was the reception?
I mean, you got two me and Frazier, looking like actual bikers, and Grayson and Daggy all dressed up. The whole house was. So I mean, it was a pretty good look.
You mentioned Grayson. Obviously, he has a fumble. I mean, everybody has a bad play, but how do you pick each other up in moments like that?
You know, we've all had bad weeks in the house, and you know, all we can do is just get together on Sundays and just try to get each other's mind off of it. You know, go out to eat or something, trying to take the distraction away, at least.
Okay, anything else for Doug? All right, thank you very much.